Hey guys, welcome back to Awesome Ops. Yesterday we did uh, we learned about few of the commands on the Linux side. Today we are going to do some great things which our DevOps guy do generally in a day. So I think let's get started. So today we are going to learn how you can configure your own web server, or you can host your app on a server, like all the apps that you see, Flipkart, Amazon, and all the great apps website that are currently running in the world are hosted somewhere on a Linux server. So today we are going to learn how we can host our own website on our Linux system. Okay, so for hosting your own website, first of all, you need a tool called Nginx. So Nginx is a tool through which you can configure your web server. So let me open up my terminal and show you guys how we can install Nginx. So for installing Nginx, we have to use Ubuntu's built-in app repository, which is apt. So using apt, we can download any software in our Ubuntu uh, machine. So for downloading Nginx, we can type sudo apt install Nginx. This is asking for my password. Let me type the password. Great. Now it is installing Nginx on my Ubuntu. So now, yeah, now is installed on my machine. Now I want to start this application, Nginx. So, on a GUI, what you do is when you install some software like Firefox, you have to click on it to run it. But in CLI environment, there is this command which you can use to start a software. So the command name is sudo systemctl. So I'm writing sudo because this is uh, this is a service which whose configuration is inside the /etc folder. So we need sudo permission to run it. Then I'm writing systemctl. So this is a command through which we can start, stop our services. So I'm typing sudo systemctl start nginx. I want to start this nginx server. So if I run this, I don't get any output. Okay. So how can I know my website is currently running? So if I go to Firefox and open it, I want to see my web page here. Okay. So how can I access it? I don't have a URL, I don't have anything. So how can I do it? So you need a IP address of your this machine. So if you type the command ifconfig shows your IP address, your current IP address of this machine. So if I run this, oh, we have to install ifconfig command as it is already getting suggested that we can do it from this tool. So I'll copy and paste and run this command. This will install ifconfig command for me. So let it, great. So now we can see that ifconfig is installed. So if I again run ifconfig command, we can see our IP address. So this is our IP address on which this machine is running. So if I open this IP address, we can see our Nginx server, web server. So if I go here, paste this IP and press enter, welcome to Nginx, which means our I currently our web server is running. So, but if you see here, it's a default web server page. I want to create my own website. Okay. So for creating your own website, uh, the configuration files of all the Nginx, when we want to host something on the Nginx, we want to create one file which will stay in this directory. So if I go to cd/var/www/html and do ls here, these are all the commands which we used yesterday, cd, ls. And now you can see I was in title sign. Now I am in /var html folder. If I do ls here, I can see this default Nginx file. So if I do cat here, cat index, press tab, which will autocomplete, then run this. So this is showing me welcome to Nginx. If you are seeing this page, Nginx server is up, which is here. If you are seeing this page, okay. But I don't want this. I want my own website. Okay. So for my own website, I'll let me quickly remove this page. So if I do rm index.html, if I delete this, so it is asking me if you want to delete this file. If I press Y, it is saying you cannot remove because you don't have permission. Because after the slash folder, we have this Ubuntu user only have permission to its root folder only, like the home directory only. So folders created inside the home directory can only be accessible by this Ubuntu folder. We are not inside the home directory, so we have to do sudo su hyphen root. This will change our user. This command also we learned yesterday that this will change our user to root. If I execute it, I'm a root user now. Okay, let me again go back to cd/var/www/html. If I do ls here, the file is still here. I want to remove this rm index nginx debian.html. I want to remove this. Done. If I do ls now, I can't see any file. So now it's the time to create new file. I already told you command to create a new file. So if I do touch index.html, this will create a new file named index.html. Done. If I do ls here, now we have index.html file. Now, if we want to paste some data inside, we want to have some data inside this file so that we can access our website here. So for that, let me echo something to it. Uh, Let me echo awesome ops is awesome. Let me echo this file. These all the commands we already learned yesterday. So we are just revising this. So if you see, uh, we are not doing uh, anything new. We are just using the commands which we learned yesterday. So it is very much crucial that you go through all my videos, all my previous videos before taking up the new video, because then you lose context. Okay. So let me create awesome ops is awesome inside this file. If I run this now, inside this file, we must be having awesome ops is awesome. Great. So these all commands we learned yesterday, cat, ls, echo, touch, rm. Great. So if I go back again to my Firefox and refresh this page, ops is awesome. Great. We learned it. So now we have a running website. Uh, so yeah. Uh, so now I want all of you to think more like a DevOps engineer. So security is one of the major aspect when you are working as a DevOps engineer. So when you have a website, you can't just users to log into your website and see all the content. You must be having some username or password which you want to give to your user, and then only they can be able to log into your website. So there here comes the part of security. So we'll also take care of security on this website. So for the security purpose, we have to install one more package. Like Nginx was a package. Now we have to install one more package. It is called uh, Apache Utils. Okay. Before that, let me just fix my this screen. So this apply changes. Great. Close this. Still, I can't see this. Okay, let me manually pull this so that you all can see clearly. Great. So now let's exit from root for as of now. So we are now Ubuntu user. So now let me install a new package which will take care of our security things. So let me do sudo apt. For installing any package, you should be using apt. So sudo apt install Apache 2 dash utils. So this is a package which we need to run our application. If I press enter, like already our application is running, we want to secure it. For securing, we need this package. Great. Now it is installed. So let me create a username and password for my application. So for doing that, I'll do sudo htpasswd. So this is a command to create a new username and a password. So I'll do sudo htpasswd dash c. So I'm asking to create dash c means we want to create a file. Let's create a file in slash etc slash nginx slash dot htpasswd. So this is by default path where we generally store our user name and password and credentials for our website. You can use any of the path, but this is the default path. So I'll create a DevOps user maybe. So I'll use this DevOps user. If I press enter, it will ask for a password. Yeah. So now it is asking for a DevOps. It is asking to create a new password for the DevOps user. So if I give a password, let's say I'll type DevOps, you cannot see anything because uh, passwords are not shown on the terminal. I've already typed DevOps here. So if I press enter now, it's asking again. So I'll type DevOps, press enter again, adding password for new user, DevOps user. Okay. So if I cat this file, if I do cat and paste it here, run this, I can see I have a DevOps user and this is the password. But I gave password as a DevOps. So this is encrypted password. So this does not store your password as a plain text because that will also create a security loophole. So now we have a username and a password. Okay. So now we want to tell. So if we again go to our web server, if we refresh this page, we can't see anything, right? It is not asking for a username or password because we haven't told this web server to get a username and password from anywhere. So we have to configure this web server to get to ask for a username and password. So for that, there is this so before that, let me tell you, like we have seen uh, when we were here in the files, in the documents or download folder, there is this abc.txt. When we double clicked on it, it opened up a new, uh, it opened up a window where we can edit it. So for editing in a CLI, because in CLI we can't open a file like this. So for editing a file in CLI mode, we have we have three options to do this. So there are three types of code editors in Linux. One is nano. So if I do sudo, uh, maybe let me go to my downloads folder. So currently I'm in HTML, so directly I can't do download here because there is no folder named downloads here. Okay. So if I want to go to my home directory, I'll do home, Ubuntu, and then I'll go to downloads. So I do ls here, we have abc.txt. Now I want to edit this file. Uh, okay. So now I want to edit this abc.txt from my CLI. So for doing this, we have one text editor, which is a CLI based text editor, which is called Nano. So if I do nano abc.txt, so as you can see now, it's open in editor mode. So now I can edit anything like I did in my GUI based text editor. I can type anything. I can do anything here. Okay. And now for saving this file, I have to do Control O. So if I press Control O, so now it is asking me file name to write. So this is telling me that it is going to write something to abc.txt. If I press enter, so it will show wrote 7 lines. So it added 7 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total lines are here. Okay. So if I uh, for getting out of this text editor, I have to press Control X. So now I'm back to my command line. So if I do cat abc.txt, I can see that things I have added are here now. Okay. So similarly, now we have to configure our web server to use our username and password. So for that, there is this uh, file where we have to tell that the website should take username and password from this file. So for going to that path, I'll type sudo nano /etc /nginx /sites available and then default. So if I do sudo nano sites available default, this will open up a file. Why I am typing sudo again and again? Because I am going into /etc directory, not I'm doing editing inside this directory, not my home directory. So for doing anything outside my home directory, I need sudo permission, which is root permissions. Okay, so let me open this file. Okay, so now in the server block, so here you can see this is the server block where our server is configured. So inside this block, I have to add few things. So let me type it quickly. It's called auth basic. So we are telling that we are going to use basic authentication. So I'll tell it as this is a restricted website. Okay, we put this. Now with auth basic, we are telling that we are using basic authentication. Okay. Now I want to tell it from where it needs to get username and password. So I'll type auth basic user file. Yeah. Now I want to give the path of my file where I have stored all the where I have stored username and password. So which was htpasswd. So in this directory, in this file htpasswd, I have stored all my username and password. So I'll do Control O. So now it is showing that file name to write is this one. I'll press enter and then I'll press Control X to get exit. Great. So now we told our web server that it should pick username and password from this file. Now we have to restart our web server. So for that, I'll type sudo systemctl restart Nginx. Okay, this will restart our Nginx web server. So yeah, now our server is restarted. If I go back again to Mozilla Firefox and do a refresh, it should ask for my username and password. Let's check it. So if I do refresh, great. Now it is asking for a username and a password. So we have created DevOps user and gave the password as DevOps. If you see from here, the password is DevOps. If I press sign in here, so now it should take us. It is currently in loading phase. If you see from here, it is not the website is not loaded currently in my browser. This is as you can see here, awesome ops is awesome is written here, but it is from my previous like previously this website was open, so that's why it's a snapshot. If I open a new window and let me tell you one thing. So rather than typing the IP address of your machine, you can also type localhost here. So you are running the web server on your local machine. So you can type localhost. So if I type localhost, now it is not showing what is inside this website. Okay, first it will get the username and password, then only it will show what is inside this website. So I'll type DevOps user. Uh, Great. So now I'll type DevOps. Let's check if uh, if I type a wrong password, so will it allow me to see my website? So if I type DevOps 3, if I click on sign in, you cannot see your website. It's not here. So you should use your correct password. So if I type DevOps user and then type my password, so now it is correct. If I click sign in, it should take me to my website. Great. So this is asking if you want to save your localhost password. I don't want to save it. So awesome ops is awesome. Now we have one layer of security in front of our website. Our website is secure. It has a username or password. So in the real world scenarios, when you access a website or so, you generally create your own username and password. But for that, those kind of website, you need databases and all setup, which we will learn in the later phase in this course only. We'll learn about MongoDB. We'll learn how to create a website which connects to your MongoDB, store username and password. But for now, we have a website which is using username and password to protect its data. So now we are good with security. But one more thing, uh, which I want all of you to think as a DevOps, when you are working as a DevOps, you have to take care of your website's availability also. So your website should be available to all the users. There should be no downtime. If you see big websites like Google, Flipkart, Amazon, uh, rarely you have seen that website is not loading, website is not coming up. So they have some monitoring process in their environment which keep track of all the downtimes which they have. They have downtimes, but they take care of it by configuring some alerts and some monitoring things. So let's do that monitoring thing for our website also. So I don't want that this when someone is reaching this website, it it is showing this is down. So let me create a monitor for this website. So we'll go back to our terminal. Uh, so from this terminal, I can also access this website. So if I do, there is this command called curl, which is to get the website. I'll type http colon slash slash localhost. I should get a response from my website. Great. So it is showing me that I need authorization. I need authorization because we have a username and a password thing in front of our website. So let me pass username and password to this web curl command. So for passing that, I'll do curl dash u, and then I'll pass the username DevOps user colon and the password. Then the website http colon slash slash local host. So if I run this, we can see what is the content on our website. But uh, when we are tracking the availability of the website, we don't want to see this. We want to see the status code. So when the website is up, it generally shows status code as 200, which means so if you want to learn about status codes, you can search. Let me quickly open up a browser. Yeah. So what are HTTP status codes? So HTTP status codes are three-digit response. So uh, if you get 200 to 299, this means the website is successful. So generally we take 200 as a success response, and if you don't have a username and password, you get a response 401. As you have seen already, when I was trying to access my website without username and password, it was saying 401 authentication required. As you can see from here, 401 unauthorized authentication is required. So we need to track this status codes to check if our website is down or working fine. So let's create an automation script which will take care of our this downtime, which will take care of our website's downtime. So let me go back. Okay, we are in downloads folder. Let me create file here only. I'll type nano. Let me name my file as health health status dot sh. So generally, so we are going to write a bash script which will take care of our monitoring thing. So for bash files, we generally use extension dot sh. So if I press enter, now we have a file which is open in editor mode. So now I'll type something which we will learn at the later phase. I'll type hashbang slash bin slash bash. This we'll learn on the later phase. So let me give the URL for which I want to check the health status. So if I do URL is equals to, I'll give the URL which is currently http slash slash local host, close this. So this is a variable. If you ever worked on a uh, any of the programming languages, you must have seen that we create variables and then assign some value to it. And if you don't have a prior knowledge to programming at all, you can generally say it like this here. We gave a name, which is URL, and we are assigning is equal to will assign a value this to this name. So if we use this name, we will indirectly using this value. Great. So next, next I want to give uh, where I want to store uh, the health logs. So this when our website is throwing something like 200, 400, 500 stated codes, I want to write it down in a log file. So I'll give the name as log file only. This is a variable. I'll give a path where I want to store my logs. Okay. Generally, we do it in the log folder itself. So I'll do where log, maybe I'll give it a name web health dot log. Okay. So I gave a file path name to this variable so that we don't have to type it again and again. We'll just use this name and we'll get this value. Great. So I'll write. So if you are new to programming languages, uh, I think you should get some basics of programming like if-else statements, while statements, do-while statements. So I'm writing while true. I'll give you context, but it will be good if you yourself try to know some of the programming languages. So I'm writing while true means that we are not going to shut like when till this value is true, which is already true. So this script will keep on running. Now I want to do few things. For doing few things, I write do, and then in the next line, I want to tell, I'll give a space here. Then I want to get the status of my website. So I'll store the status of my website. Uh, so for this, I'll use curl command, which we used earlier. So I'll do curl. Then uh, I just want, I don't want the content of my website. I just want to know its status code. So rather than calling the whole website here, I will just call for my HTTP status code. So I'll use dash s, make it, which will get the status in silent mode. Then I don't want the content of the website. For that, I'll do dash o, and I'm going to write the content of the website to a null file. So this will push the website's content to a file which is null. So this null file, uh, if you write something to this null file, it gets written and then it gets deleted. So that's why I'm writing it here. Now I want uh, the format. So with this option dash W, you'll get the uh, which format you want. So I want that uh, I get uh, I want to get the HTTP status code of my website. So I want to get the status code of my website. And what is the website? Website is stored in URL variable which we defined here. So I'm using this variable to get the status of my website. This is the URL curl command, and then I want it in silent mode. Then I want to write the website's uh, content to this file because I don't want it. Then I'm telling the format in which I want the content. I want status code, and then from this URL. Okay. Now I want to check. So for checking in all the programming language, we have ifs and else statements. So I want to check if uh, if status is equals to. So this is how you type in bash scripting. I'm checking that if dollar status, what is this dollar status? We just now assigned one variable, this variable status, and I'm calling this URL curl command to get the status code of my website. So I'll get a value in this, then I'm comparing this value. So I'll get the status of my website in this variable. Then I'm doing if status equals to, let's say 401, which is unauthenticated. So this means that somebody is connecting to our website, but it is unauthenticated. So then what will I do? So I will echo, I'll echo dollar. I want to see when somebody came to my website. So I'll get the date Then I want to get the date, and then I want to check. I want to say that server is up, but authentication failed. Great. So you'll get this status when somebody is trying to get our website but don't have a username and password. Then you'll get the date, and it will tell us that web server is up but authentication failed. Okay. And then let me send this to my log file. So log file. So I'm sending this entire string. We all we already know about all these commands. We learned these commands echo. So I'm echoing this to this file. Great. So let me write the else if statement. So in bash scripting, there is no else if. Uh, in bash, it is elif. So I want that if this statement does not match, which means our status code is not equals to 401, then I want to check that if it is a different one. So I'll copy and paste this here. Then I want to check if status is equals to 200. So 200 means we login is successful and status is 200 means then what I want to echo dollar date uh, yeah echo dollar date server is up. I want to tell that server is currently up. We don't have any issues. Then I'll write this to my log file. Great. Uh, Now we can check uh, that if our website is throwing this 401 status code, we are pushing that into a log file. Then if our website is up and it is throwing 200, then we are echoing it to same log file. Now I want to check if anything else other than these two are coming, then it should say that our website is down. You can write multiple ellipses here, like if you want to get some different status, 404 or something. Generally, 404 also means that website is up, but content is not found. So you can write all the statements like this here and then send them through log file. But I don't want to give any more elif statements, so I'm writing else. So now when I'm not getting 401 or 200, I want to echo the date dollar date that server is down. Okay, which means our web application is down. I'm pushing this to log file as well. So this means we are done with our um, else and if statements. Now we wrote if here. So generally in other programming languages you use if, elif, else, but in bash scripting, if you are opening a if statement, you have to close it with phi. So you have to tell that phi. Now, if I if I run this script, it will get executed once only, and it will tell me if our server is up or down. But I want this file to be continuously monitoring my web server. So for that, I'll put one sleep here. So sleep is a command. So you can directly run sleep command, and this will hang up your terminal for the given amount period. So I'll do sleep at 10. So this will uh, make sure that this file will check status every 10 seconds. Now we started with do. Now all the things are done. So we have to type done here, which means do do this, and from here it is done. So this is the whole block of code. Now we want to save it. We'll do Control O, press Enter. We have wrote 17 lines in this file. Then I'll do Control X. So if I run this command, if I run this script right now, it will show that our website is up. And in the curl command, if you catch this health status.sh, in the curl command, we haven't passed uh, username and password. So this should throw this statement into our log file. So uh, let me execute this script quickly. So I'll write health check.sh. So right now this will fail because we don't have executable permission for this file. So let me, okay. Uh, is that a name difference? Uh, okay. So it is currently failing because we don't have execute permission on this. We'll learn about how to give permissions and all. For now, let me give this file uh, permission to execute. So I gave this permission. I gave this Ubuntu user the permission to run this file with this command. So if I do ls here, you can see the color is changed to green. So now if I ch uh, run this file. So you can run this file. So this is a sh file. You can run this file using this command, which is dot slash health status dot sh. I'll do nano health status dot sh. So I have to put space here and here. So make it work. So I'll go back again and run dot slash health status dot sh. Okay, great. Now we this script does not have permission to write to this file, which is perfectly fine. Uh, so let me quickly change it to, I'll open this file, nano health status.sh, and then if I let me change the file path of this, or maybe we can do one thing. We can run this file as a sudo udir. So if I do sudo health status.sh, now it is writing the status of my website to this file. So if I open this file in a new terminal, so let me open up a new terminal and do cat slash where slash log slash web health dot log. If I cat it here, now you can see server is up, but authentication failed, which we gave, which we are expecting. And this is the date command which we write inside the file. So let me quickly stop this. If I do Control C, we are back to terminal. Now it is not writing anything. So if I do cat again here, it wrote it for 4 times and then it is not writing anything. Uh, yeah, so 4 times. Now it is not writing anything. So if I go back again and pass the username and password to my file, if I do nano health status.sh, and if I pass username and password here, so let me pass username dash u, which is DevOps user colon the password DevOps. So by this, now we should get 200, which means the server is running perfectly and we are authenticated. So let me save it and let me run my script again. Great. So now doing rather than doing cat, let me use the command which I told you earlier, which is used for servers to tail the logs which are currently being generated. So if when I'm running this cat command, it is throwing all the data which is at this point of time is inside the file. But if I run cap tail command, so let me do tail dash f, which means take it from a file, and I want to do it from this file. So if I copy and paste it here, you can see the logs getting written in real time. As you can see, we are tailing it and logs are coming one by one. So after 10 seconds, it new log line will get added, as you can see now. So now our this server is working perfectly. How can we test? It will alert us if we get a downtime. So let me open a new terminal and let me do sudo systemctl stop nginx. So if I stop my web server, it should throw that server is down. So let me stop it. It is asking for a password. Let me give my password and we have stopped it. So it should throw up server is down now. Let's wait for it. And yeah, we perfectly got it. That server is down, which means our website is down. We can get alert with any of the monitoring tools. So we can send this file to we can write some checks here so that if server is down getting written here, it should send a email, it should send a Slack message, anything we can write from here. So which we will also do in the upcoming days. So this is for now. We wrote our monitoring website, monitor for our website in a bash script. Now let me close this file. So if you see from here, currently we are running file, and if I do Control C, this file will get stopped. So I don't want that. If somebody kill this terminal, this should stop. So for that, so let me show you once. So if I run this command again, now it is started writing again. But if I kill that terminal, so yeah, we got a new line added just now. And if we kill that terminal from where we are writing this logs, if I close this terminal, you can see now it is not working. So this was the last log. Now it will not append any of the log now because our monitoring tool is shut down now. So I want that even if I kill my terminal, we should get alerts. So for that, I ha we have to do uh, sudo dot slash status. It was in this directory only. Yeah, health status. Sorry. So I'll do sudo dot slash health status dot sh, and then I'll put uh, and here. So if I put and here, now it will run in the background. Now it is okay, it is asking for a password. Let me give it once. So okay, let me do control C here. Now if I run this with the and command, now you can see currently we are running it in this mode. So I can do anything from here and it is still writing my logs here. So this is the log. We should get a new log. Yeah. Let me start my website again. So sudo systemctl start uh, nginx. We are doing it in the same terminal from which we are running the health status command. So we should be getting server is up now. Yeah, great. So now we can do anything on the same terminal and our command is running in the background. Great. So we created a website, we deployed a website, then we worked as a DevOps engineer to get it monitored and sending the logs to a file. And then later on, when we were uh, touch the observability part, which is Kibana and Grafana. Then we will see how can we use this same file to get alerts when our system is down. We'll configure some email alerts. We'll configure some uh, notification or call or maybe something at that point of time. But for now, we are getting a log that our website is down with the timestamp. So now let's move ahead and let's see what else we need to think as a DevOps engineer. So we have one critical file in our system, which is the htpasswd file, which is having our username and password. So we should not lose that file. So for that, we need one backup strategy as well. So for creating a backup, I want to create an automation which will back up our file to a separate folder as a backup so that if somebody uh, removed our file, we should get our file instantly from, we get everything from the backup. So let's create an automation which will do a backup of our file in every 12 hours. So let me start with writing a backup file. So I'll do nano. Now I want to create a backup.sh. You can create any file. Now inside it, I'm going to write hash bang slash bin slash bin slash bash. Then I'm going to create a source variable. So I'm going to create a source from where I want that it should take backup. So for us, the critical file is this nginx slash dot htpasswd. So this is very critical file for me as of now because our username and password is inside this file. So now I want to store this backup somewhere safe. So I'll write destination and then I'll pass a folder where I want this to be written. So I want to write inside the backup folder, which we don't have currently. We don't, inside the Ubuntu, we have documents, we have downloads, but we don't have a backup folder. So I want to create a new folder. So for creating a folder, this is the command. Uh, this is the command to create a new folder. It's called mkdir. So, which means mkdir means make directory, matlab create directory. Okay, so I'll run this command mkdir. Then I want that if parent folder is not available, which means backup is not there, I want to create it. So I'll write this and then I'll pass the folder path, which is inside this destination variable. So writing this whole thing again, I can just simply do this. Now I want to get the date also. So let me define all the variables on the top only. So if I go to the top and write a new variable called date, I want to get the date. So for that, I'll run date command here. So I'll run date and then I want it in a specific format. So if I do percentage F here, I'll get the date in a format YY, MM, and DD. So I'll get the date in this format. So now I want to copy the backup of this folder to a new location. So for that, I'll write cp command, which we learned yesterday only. So if you see, we just learned few commands, but we are able to do multiple things using those commands. We created automation script to check the health status of our website. We are now using those commands to create a backup script, which will take the backup of our important files. So for us, currently it is htpasswd file, but using this script, you can take backup of your databases. Like if you are using MongoDB, you can take backup of that MongoDB uh, folder where you are storing data, and then maybe you can store it in S3 if you are familiar with uh, AWS cloud. You can store that backup to your S3 bucket. You don't need any or manual or some costly way. You can just write this script and this will take your backup. So now I want that file on the source. So we already defined our source here, which is this. We don't have to type whole. We can just pass variable here. I want I want to copy the source file to the destination folder, and I want to name it as backup and then dollar date. Maybe currently we don't have a big file, so I'm writing just simple command to just copy it to a backup folder. Maybe if you want, you have a big files like MongoDB files, you can use the tar command to compress it and then store it as a backup and or upload it to some online software as a backup. So for that, we will also do when we are working on AWS, then we will look into it. For now, I'm just storing this file as a dot backup. Okay, so that's all. So uh, this has my source file destination where I want to store my file. It has a date. It will create a destination folder. Then it will copy my file from this source to this destination as a backup file. Okay, let me save it and exit it. Now I want to execute this command and see if it is working perfectly. So I'll write. So before doing this, we make this file as executable. So for making that, this will write sudo chmod plus x and then backup.sh. If I do ls here, now you can see it is in green color, which means it's executable now. So if I run this command now, sudo dot slash backup.sh, yeah. So now if you see, it is working fine. If I go back to backup folder, uh, I'll do dot dot, which will take me out of this directory. Then I'll put slash, which means i- i- uh, I want to exit this directory, and then I'll go to slash backup folder. So if I do ls here, I can see one backup is created just now with this date. Great. But now I want that these backups should be created by itself after every 12 or maybe after every 5 minutes. So for that, uh, we need one tool which is called Cron. So Cron is a tool with which you can schedule a task, schedule a command, or schedule a script. So if we already have it, maybe I'll do sudo apt install Cron. This will install Cron for me. Great. So if I run cron tab dash e, uh, open it in nano, I'll press 1. Then inside this file, I can write the schedule to create backup of this file. So I want that every 5 minutes, uh, it will run a command. So I'm writing it here, uh, slash star 5 star star star. I'll tell you what are these stars are and how they work. So then I want to run sudo slash home slash ubuntu slash downloads slash backup dot sh. So I want that it should run this command after every 5 minutes. How can I say it is 5 minutes? So if I copy this, if I see this, so if you open a website and if you go to cron tab guru, so using this cron tab guru, you can see, uh, so what are these stars mean? So this first is the minutes. So I want it every minute. This is for hours. This is for day. This is month and weekday. So if I want it to run every 5 minutes, I'll put a star here and slash here, and then I'll put this into star. Okay. So this is telling me that every fifth minute, this is going to run every fifth minute. Okay. If I don't want this, I can put it every 12 hours. So it will run every past, it will run, uh, e- e- okay, no, this is a wrong syntax. So I have to put star slash. So it will run at every minute past every 12th hour. So this is this is how it is going to run. It will run uh, on 23rd at this minute. Okay. So it is going to run every Uh, okay, so like this, you can create your cron tabs. So currently we have this one. So I want to run it every 5 minutes. If I do, so it will run at 1950, 1955, 8 o'clock, 8:05, 8:10, whatever frequency you want, you can give from here. You can check on ChatGPT as well. Uh, you get all the details. So I want it to be executed every 5 minutes. So now I'll save this command O, enter, control X. As you can see, cron tab installing new cron tab. So our cron tab is installed. So we'll start getting backup after every 5 minutes in the backup folder. So currently, if you see, we have only one backup. We should get it in 5 minutes. Uh, So yeah, that's all for this video. I'll catch up later in next video. So in next video, I'll probably so if you see currently the server which we deployed here, uh, this is this is inside our this machine, and anyone from the outside, like from another machine, cannot access this website, which is because it is currently running in my local host. So in the next video, I'll tell you how you can deploy your website on our EC2 instance, and then anyone from the internet can access your website. So we'll see you on the next video. There I'll uh, tell you some basics of networking, like how VPCs and things on AWS work, and then we'll deploy ISO2 machine. I'll tell you what EC2 is and how can you deploy websites over there and create one URL for your website and give it to your friends so they can access your website. This will learn in the next lecture. So that's all for this one. Hope you have a great day. Uh, I generally don't ask for likes and shares because I just love teaching, and that's why I'm doing this. So if you want your friends to learn from the videos, you can share it. Uh, so yeah, that's all. Thank you so much. Bye.